talk about what it is, what it stands for, and how these local groups are working in various communities?
Well, LINK stands for Lead Impact Network Change, and so we are the Young Professional Affinity Group for United Way, and we are in various cities, and so what we do is we work to engage young professionals in the work of United Way, and help them understand why we are fighting poverty and all the things that we can do to help move the mission of United Way forward. We also provide our members with professional development opportunities, networking opportunities, to help them grow as a person as well. Right now we have about 800 members, and so last year our members volunteered over 460 volunteer hours and gave over $550,000 to the Community Action Fund. So that's pretty much what we do. And
that's great. Can you talk a little bit more about what you actually do? What kinds of events do you hold?
Well, we try to do around 4 or 5 events a year. All of our events focus on students and student success, and we focus on children affected with poverty. So 2 of our key events, we have Books and Brews, which is a book drive where we partner with local breweries, and they help host our book drive, and we invite people to come, network, mingle, bring books, and pretty much have a good time for a good cause. We also have another key event, which is School Makeover, and we pick a school in one of our target neighborhoods in Central Ohio. It's South Linden and the South Side. And so we pick a school there, and we go and invite various companies to leverage their young professional groups, and we pretty much redo the school, whatever the school needs, whether it's inside, outside. We spend a lot of time on the playground, and we have faded lines and chip paint, and we pretty much redo the whole thing for the students, because we want them to have a nice, vibrant environment to learn, and just that little time on a Saturday can really change how the school looks. So
that's great. And Brian, what made it important to create these LINK groups? What was it that you were trying to achieve in doing that?
Yeah, so if so United Way went from being this community planning organization turn of the last century to a community chest where local nonprofits gathered together and locked arms to raise money. When our revenue really took off is when we engaged corporations, and they created payroll deduction giving. So the idea that an employee at any company that was participating could take a little bit out of their paycheck every paycheck, and all of that added up. I say that to say we've got still a relationship with 75,000 corporations, but it was always kind of like a business to business relationship. We cared about the company, but we really didn't know the people inside the companies or the organizations like state government. And so what we realized is that what we really need to do is create affinity groups. And it works for any of you that are involved in fundraising at all. You know that universities and nonprofits do groups of wealthy individuals, and they recognize each other and so forth. We thought the same thing could work with young people, with women leaders. And so LINK was our response to that. Why don't we also did Student United Ways, which was let mostly college students create their own United Way, link it to, no pun intended, link it to the local United Way, and self-govern. And so I don't know how many LINK affiliates we now have, but it's thousands and thousands of young people now across the country. The women's, what we call Women United, is now over 100,000 women a year organized by city in affinity groups, inside companies, outside companies, with their own companies, and we're just getting way more focused on what do women care about, what do young people care about, what do wealthy donors care about, not just what a company cares about. And it was really just an iteration of we've got to get to know the people that actually give, volunteer, and live in these communities, not just their employer.
And when you try to find out more about that, what are some of the causes that they care deeply about? What have you found really resonates, and where would you say United Way has made the most impact in really solving problems?
So it's, I'll say this, when, as a member of the baby boomer generation, the number of times, and I was guilty of this early on, the sweeping generalization of millennials. And we say, well, millennials care about such and such. And, well, yeah, maybe. I was at a dinner once in Des Moines with the publisher of Meredith Publishing, which owns a bunch of publications, including Better Homes and Gardens. And I'm thinking, Better Homes and Gardens, whatever. He and I made this sweeping generalization about millennials. And he said, well, like something like, well, millennials want to be involved in their giving. They want to volunteer, they don't want to just give, they want to, and he said, until they get married. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, Meredith has a customer relationship with 75% of all millennial women in the United States. And I said, and then he went on to describe different stages of life. So it depends on where you are in your stage of life. When any of us, when you're single and you have more time, you want to follow. When you want to get in. When you get married or you have more responsibility at work and so forth, you, just like everything in your life, you try to, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to have somebody else do that. Same thing with causes that people care about. It changes with your lifestyle. You care a lot more about education when your kids become school age.